What's happening? What's happening? Shout out to all those beginner investors and traders, college graduates, entrepreneurs, hustlers, anybody trying to make something out of nothing. I wanted to ask anyone out there that's invested in GME and AMC and any other so-called quote unquote meme stock, are you having any problems, or have you been given an alert saying that you're restricted from selling AMC or GME? Because I just tried to, like, I could sell anything else besides AMC and GME, which is kind of odd because with Robinhood, I mean, if that's the brokerage I'm dealing with right now with this particular problem. Uh, it's saying that I basically had 3 or 4 day trades and I will be restricted for 90 days if I try to sell AMC or GME, which I have not made any day trades this week. Maybe one, I believe, but that was probably it. And I don't even think it was a day trade, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe, something is in the mix because they won't allow you to sell it. Well, at least they won't allow me to sell AMC or GME without being restricted for 90 days from buying stocks. So right then and there, that led me to believe, because I know that the market is going to bounce. Now, who knows when? Based on all these, based on what the Fed plans to do, and everything with the, SEC and all this BS about AMC. And because I was saying this a long time ago, man, about AMC and its fluctuations based on Adam Aaron and his son selling shares and people from the company selling shares, and things just didn't start to look right based on the things they were doing when they gave all those shares, sold all those shares to Mundrick Capital, and then they dumped. So I was already speculative about the moves, the concerning moves that AMC, well, the guys running the company were doing. I was already concerned about all that, and I made videos about this maybe 9 months before you starting to hear certain, like, a few people say it now. Even when you talk about AMC's balance sheets and stuff like that, it's horrible, especially decisions that they've made years ago that they are capitalizing off of us now because of the debt that AMC was in and how we've helped, keep it afloat. And they're using AMC shareholders to constantly make money to correct those decisions that they made, years ago, which was bad for the company. And based on the short squeeze and people having an understanding of how many shares they shorted, or not how many, but, in the realm of how many shares and synthetics and this, that, and the third, people have come to believe that the short squeeze is inevitable, which, in my opinion, I believe we are seeing short squeezes. I think they're just accumulating in these small fluctuations, these 20%, 30% spikes, and then they'll go back down and reset it. You know what I mean? And when you got the power to control the game, I just, like I was saying in the beginning, 9, 10 months ago, what makes people think that these shares will skyrocket to $1 million a share? That will put everyday average Americans in positions of politicians and some of the most wealthiest people on earth, so, well, from what we know, and that's just what I was saying months and months and months ago, but being a beginner investor, I could see why it would be hard for people to listen to that. And now look at AMC at $10 a share. And I was going to sell at least another, 90, 95 shares. And I was just going to wait because, it's going to gap down to at least $7 or $6 or under that. Now, I think it can run back up to 20 or $30 based on the movies that's coming out and the hype and the fact that these people understand that they, have us in a psychological trap where they can constantly gain based on retail just having as much, conviction about what they believe it's going to do based on the corruption and the synthetics and how Wall Street, has been, some of the corruption's been uncovered and, they're pointing out certain people. But at the end of the day, all of this can be psychological, like I said in the beginning, just to keep you engaged, just to keep the price fluctuating so they can constantly make 20, 30%, gains every other week or every week if they choose to. Hedge funds went from making 10 to 20% a year to now they can do that every month. You know what I mean? Based on AMC and GameStop and all the other meme stocks, quote unquote, that people choose to sit in. That's the reason why you see these YouTubers they just disappear. You know what I mean? And me personally, I just stopped talking because I was telling people that it wasn't going on $100,000 a share. And yes, even though the numbers and the technical side of it makes sense, because of the shorting and the failures to deliver, and everything else that they've been doing, because you actually aren't, getting your shares, you're getting the synthetics, and, they're just doing a lot. They're not even, using their own money. They get bailed out by the banks and all that, and then they'll take our money and buy shares that they'll own, and we'll just have like an IOU, and then they'll make money on both sides. It's just so much that they're doing. It's just, that's one of the reasons why I was saying it's just hard to believe that these two could squeeze, to hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, and now we're seeing, with all the corruption, how it's just squeezing down on us, more and more. Just 4 months ago, 5 months ago, these stocks were, AMC was still hovering over $30, almost. And GameStop was $200 just 6 months ago. That's another reason why the stock split for GameStop, in my opinion, is going to dilute your profits because, they'll talk about that it's good for the company. No, it's good for the shareholders that, like the CEOs and the people that run the company. It's good for them, because it allows people, more regular people like us, to jump in. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll move the price. You know what I mean? These CEOs and all them, they'll move the price based on constantly getting in after they have a foundation for the price to move up off of. And we are that foundation. So once we keep the stock at a specific price, now they can jump in and push the price higher based on all the money that they really have. You can get retail jumping in, and together we might produce $1 billion, but you might have 4 or 5 institutions jump in, and now all of a sudden you got $10 billion circulating through some trades and through, shares being bought up and held. And then now other institutions are jumping in and putting in hundreds of millions of dollars. Now this equals or surpasses another $1 billion or plus. And then now you get that extreme blast. That's where those volume jumps come from, where you see these $1 million volume spikes, these 400,000 volume spikes. That's where it comes from. And then now all of a sudden, when the price skyrockets, You know what I mean? You have all these institutions now waiting for, some sort of target, 20%, 30%. And then they'll jump out, and once they jump out, that's where you'll see those plummets. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's just like to this morning. I mean, you seen GameStop jump from, it was 70 something bucks, and then it shot up to 108. Go look at those volume bars. That's all you have to do is go look at them volume bars, and then all of a sudden, you had I think 100,000 on the 3 to 5 minute chart. You had 100, 200,000 maybe volume spikes. And then all of a sudden, when GME blasted all the way up to $108, you had one large volume bar that was it was like 900,000 in volume. I don't know if it was the 3 minute chart or the 5 minute chart, but it was a 900,000 volume bar that ended up pushing GameStop all the way back down under $100. And I mean, that's something that you just can't control with retail money. You know what I mean? Because we don't have an infinite supply of it. They do. So I mean, it's just a bunch of stuff going on, and I don't want to keep on rambling and talk your head off. I just wanted to see if anybody else was having any restrictions or any problems selling AMC or GME, because it seems like to me, because I'm trying to put myself in a better position, because I do believe that the market is going to bounce. People are talking about retail is the cause with the meme stocks, as far as, certain things happening in the market. They're trying to get you to believe that cryptocurrency is a scam and this, that, and the third. And, the market, we're the reason for this, that, and the third. But, man, I mean, cryptocurrency is technology. I mean, if you look at Apple, one of the most profitable companies on the stock market, it's a tech company, and it's down 20, 30%. You know what I mean? And as we speak, it's going down, so if you think about it, cryptocurrency is technology. So when you see the top dogs in cryptocurrency at where they're at the moment, you have to understand that technology is getting more and more adopted, and people are now starting to really understand to some degree. Not everybody, but more people are involved. So, it has to take, a little cool off, and then it's gonna run back up. And I'm not no no guru or no financial advisor, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. So, make sure that you have your own due diligence and pay attention. But from the patterns that I've seen, it's going to reverse. And I'm not saying we'll see the numbers that we saw 9 months ago, but with everybody that has been in, that's gotten in at this moment, we can see an explosion. It can be twice what it was, because there's more people in these spaces now. So, I mean, personally, man, I just think at the moment they're doing whatever they can to not just squeeze people out, but they're trying to stop people from reallocating and repositioning, and because once this thing goes, man, it's gonna go. I mean, you got cryptocurrencies like Chainlink that's like damn near one of its kind. It's like back down to $6. You know what I mean? You got like Matic back down to 60 cent, 40 cent, like 50 cent. You know what I mean? Algorand is back down to, 40 cent. It's just crazy right now, man. So personally, I'm just trying to get as much funds as possible to reposition, buy more crypto, and just wait, man, for this boom. I think in another, 4 to 6 months, maybe even a year, man, we could see 2 to 3 times what we saw in 2021, and that's just my opinion, but please tell me what you think. My bad for rambling. I know it's been a while, but I've just been sitting back, man. I was excited myself. I learned more and more about squeezes and how fundamentals have nothing to do with it. You have to pay attention to the volume. You have to pay attention to the buyers and sellers. You have to pay attention to, where the buyers are holding, where the buyers are selling. I mean, where the sellers are selling, it's just like those are the things that you have to, pay attention to more than anything, because people are day trading every day and buying and selling, holding. And not just that, you have people that, are making money or invested, have other, people invested in them, and they have to make percentages or a certain amount of income or profit for these people that are invested in their company or in them. So, it's just so many different reasons why the stock fluctuates the way that they do. And we've been led to believe, I was stuck on it, that the fundamentals and the holding and, just buying more on the dips and all that was going to really, really help execute the plan that we had of making it squeeze. But that's not what it's about. It's about, buyers and sellers. It's about getting in, getting out, and not to say that it will not squeeze. It just takes a certain amount of buyers to basically set the price. It has to be more buyers than there are sellers for the stock price to move up. And that's not what's happening with AMC. AMC has a lot of people dumping those stocks. You know what I'm saying? And they don't talk about how Adam Aaron has issued 900,000 shares a year. They don't talk about how, he dumped a bunch of those shares on us. They don't talk about how these people in AMC are just getting loaded with shares of AMC, and then they're waiting for moments to get in, cause these spikes, and then once they make a certain amount of a certain percentage, they'll jump out and leave us with the bag. That's what's going on. They'll talk about the movies and all that's coming out, but they're not talking about how bad the company's doing. Nobody is. That's the reason why you really see people not talking about AMC in depth. They just keep talking about the fundamentals in movies. Why you think you don't hear nobody really talking about GameStop? That's because GameStop is the real beast. That's the real one. That's the real beast. The $1 billion in cash. They're not in debt. I'm talking about they're stealing intelligence from some of the most profitable, some of the most marketable companies in the stock market. They have geniuses over there repositioning GameStop as we speak as a brand. I'm talking about not just a hub. I mean, GameStop will be damn near like Amazon or better, because the digital world that we're coming into, GameStop is like a goddamn door for all that stuff. And then you have the loopering technology and all that. It's just, and this is stuff that I'm still learning. But GameStop is the beast. I'm telling you. And if you don't think I've been talking about GameStop since 2019, when it was $2 a share, when it was $5 a share, and nobody was listening. I'm talking about still to this day, my father is still, he bought it up when he didn't take that, and give me, a certain amount of money, because we could have put the house on GameStop and we would have been rich. Because I was telling my father at $4 or $5 a share that GameStop could possibly go over $100. And it's shot. And I went through GameStop with a fine tooth, like I'm talking about a fine tooth comb, Now, as a beginner, I know I missed a lot of stuff, but I was positive about the balance sheets. I was positive about the cash that they had on hand. I knew and then the price, the fluctuations of the price around the gaming console cycles was unbelievable. It would do it this every console cycle. You would have these $50 spikes, $55, $60 spikes. So I knew that with the PS5 coming out and all the digital gaming and all the technology, the VR, all the stuff that we don't understand, the movies that they've been showing, like Inception and, Ready Player One. And I mean, these things are actual reality, but people don't understand about how far technology is advanced as it is, for people that are of the 1%. We don't know about that. They say technology is 100 years in advance as far as what those people have. You know what I mean? So the things that we have, they had 50, 60 years ago plus. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that to some degree. So that's the reason why I believe in GameStop and where it's going at this moment. I didn't think about how big it was going to be till about 6 months ago. Now, I knew it was going to be big, but thinking about the digital space and where it's going, it's going to be bigger than I thought, So I'm going to stop rambling. Please, if you're having any trouble with your brokerages, selling GameStop or AMC, let me know. And please tell me what you think about AMC and GameStop and what I think. AMC is a smokescreen. Like, I think it will jump back up to $20, maybe even 30. But that's when you should play it smart and, really think about being more of an investor and trying to figure out, because I'm still trying to figure it out, man. These people are scandalous. These people are good salesmen, and they'll do anything to make money. I mean, you got people making millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars off of us. You just gotta go look it up. People have made hundreds of millions of dollars off of the backs of investors, of these meme stocks. So, people have revitalized companies. We've revitalized companies and got shitted on. So please tell me what you think. It's goodbye, Ray Valentine. You already know you're tuned in, and it's been a while, man. But, every now and again, I'm going to peek my head up and give my little 2 cents, my opinion. So please tell me what you think down in the comment box, man. I'm